All right.
Do we have anything else on cosplay, or?
I'm done with cosplay.
Keep cosplaying.
Okay. Done.
All right. Well, I had a little bit of a spiel, and I think this is the right place for it. There's something that does affect, I think, otaku when it comes to relationships, and it's something we've talked about on the Method of Madness podcast a couple of times before, and it is that dark specter of moe.
Are you going to start this out by defining it for us, Sean?
Well, I had to do research for this because I need to understand the nature of this beast. Because I see a sickness and I have to understand it. So I understand there's probably a lot of moe fans in this audience, and I do also understand that moe is a genre or even just a style. It is currently kind of one of the pillars that is supporting our industry, and I have to respect that. And in my research, I understand that a lot of people like to synonymize moe with loli, and...
Here, your mic is being funny.
Oh, it is? So, I understand that it's common... Is it funnier now?
Is it better?
I can't hear it.
Okay.
How do we sound?
Can anyone hear me?
Good.
Am I good? Okay.
It's just you.
Thank
It's
you.
William. Your ears failed.
I'm getting signals.
It's going with old age.
Well, I am old, so.
So as I'm trying to cover my ass...
Go for it.
Before I get lynched here, I understand that moe is commonly synonymized with loli, and it's not. I get it. It is not entirely a sexual thing. It is an emotional thing. You have the fantasy girlfriend as kind of an emotional surrogate, and it's where you get your warm fuzzies. It's where you get your feels. And I'll even put myself out there. I myself, Sean Ryan, am moe for Lisa Loeb, a musician I hope some of you have heard of.
They will have no idea who Lisa Loeb is.
Look up Lisa Loeb. Lisa Loeb is a singer that I just want to sit next to on the couch for a while, rub shoulder to shoulder and smile, maybe put my head on her lap while she strokes the sandwich. Nice club sandwich. She'll sing me a song. So I get that.
Confidence, ladies and gentlemen, be confident.
But there comes a certain point where moe, I feel, becomes like substance abuse. There's a line that you eventually cross where it's kind of like methadone, where, yeah, it's kind of giving your feels fix and it's kind of sustaining you, but in reality, you're really not all that healthier, and in a way, you're kind of worse than you were before. So one thing I would say, fine, if you're into the moe, cool, but kind of keep that under control. And the healthy and best thing for you, especially if you're at panels like this, is to seek out, put aside the feels, look for the reels, because that is where you're going to find actual fulfilling satisfaction in relationships.
That was
Beautiful.
good. That was beautiful.
Although, thank you, son. Thank you. Although I don't mean to mix my metaphors, but I also like to describe moe as kind of it's like high fructose corn syrup, where moe is a cheap, overused sweetener that is kind of a pillar of the industry right now, but it's also been linked to obesity and some forms of autism.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
I got nothing.
That was beautiful.
Want to bounce back at some do's and don'ts before we launch into some questions? Because we got time.
Well, why don't we do questions, and then if there's time, we can get back to do's and don'ts.
All right,
Some
cool.
of your questions.
Anyone want to step up?
Here's the deal. If you ask a question, you get a button until they run out.
Yes.
All right.
Our assistant, Paris.
Paris, who's been on many
Raise your hand.
podcasts.
All right, we're gonna start here. In the
Okay.
front.
Hello.
Hi. I was just gonna ask, like, you guys are covering, like, guys to girls, girls to guys, but what about guys to guys and girls to girls?
It's a good question. And it's one of those things. I run a speed dating event, and I've been trying to figure out the best way to coordinate a LGBTQ speed dating event. I would say the advice would be the same. Definitely, as with anything, know your audience. Know who it is that you're talking to. because essentially what you've got there is you've got one more hurdle. Just one more step of this person may or may not be interested in you. But if it works for everybody. It's universal. Confidence is attractive. And that fine line between confidence and being a jerk or being crazy is a really hard one to navigate. So, I mean, I would say it works the same. I mean, everybody's looking for love and everybody's nervous and scared about it. And it just takes practice.
It may seem like, I guess, a little bit more needle in a haystack because you have to find like people.
Well, I mean, and especially
there's those challenges.
And in all fandoms, the more you narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow, I mean, it might take more time.
Yeah.
But
I would think conventions and communities like this are a lot easier to define someone for yourself.
Right, and I hear that all the time too with the guys trying to pick up girls. It's like, oh, all the geek girls are already taken. No, it means you need to go to more places where more of them will be. Mm-hmm. Because if it is, I don't think it'll be this way forever, but it is a predominantly male oriented fandom or genre. The more and more women get in there, the more equal it'll eventually be, and then we'll take over. And it'll be fabulous and wonderful.
I would just like to share that based on statistics I've seen, there are more females than males in Animazement consistently year to year. So you're already winning.
Already.
So quit whining about no single girls. I saw a lot of hands.
You're halfway there. I also think it kind of feeds into what we were talking about earlier on building on yourself. Because once you do that, you don't really have to work so hard at finding people. If you're really into something and you excel and don't be a jackass, people will gravitate to you.
It's true.
So it makes it a lot easier that way.
Right.
And then it's just a matter of taking your pick.
Do we have a guy in the back who wants to ask a question?
Well, we will let
Dudes?
him.
No?
Got a couple up here. Oh.
We got some more up here. Okay.
On the topic, you guys were talking about like cosplay and stuff like that. I would just this is more of a comment than a question, but I'd like to also extend that especially to like the small furry community we have here.
Right.
I'm not personally a part of it, but it kind of ticks me off when I see some of the other people just kind of being like, oh, that's gross, or that's, whatever. It's just an alternative lifestyle, and it's like the GLBT community, basically. Like, it's just a smaller form of that. So if you're not going to be, like, awful to them, then don't be awful to the other group. It's just kind of a hypocritical thing I see.
No, absolutely. And hating on furries is so 2008. They're here and they're staying, so you got to just get into it.
Yeah, and in general, the community never benefits from excluding people. We've all been excluded from one thing or another in our life, and we hated the people who did it. We're a pretty open-minded bunch for the most part, so just chill out.
And plus, if you're in that community and you have a bunch of people hating on you, that makes your job easier of deciding, okay, do I want to approach them or not? They're doing the work for you of just cutting themselves out of your pool.
It's true.
So that's less people you have to really worry about and focus on the people that are in, your group.
Exactly.
All right, we have one more back here. I'm working my way up.
Okay.
I promise.
Thank you. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. If you came by yourself, how do you meet people?
You did that earlier, dude.
So,
Turn to the person to your left.
yeah, well,
Sir, turn to the person to your left. Extend your hand. Say, hi, my name is. Congratulations.
We build a lot of barriers which make it seem like it would be difficult to meet people.
Yeah.
Because we build up like, well, what if they rejected me? Or what if they aren't interested? Well, for the most part, so what?
right.
Say hello. It'll be great.
And also look around, especially at conventions, look for panels where, for stuff that you're interested in, and go in, see someone else who's sitting alone, go and ask if you can sit beside them, because they're probably saying, I came here alone and don't have anybody to talk to. It's one of my favorite things to do is to go to movies by myself. But sometimes when I go to movies, because I just have a thing. But when I'm there, I'll see someone else sitting by themselves, and I'll always go up and be like, "Hey, do you mind if we sit like near each other so we can talk about whatever?" And no one's ever been like, "No, get away from me, you're horrible."
Yeah.
Everyone's always been like, "No, absolutely, sure." That I had to come on my lunch break to see this movie. Everybody is out there looking for acceptance. If you accept them first, it just makes it easier for them to accept you.
All right.
She's coming.
Well, okay. First, I'd like to extend an invitation to everybody here. If you're of age, Marriott Bar, 6 o'clock, drinks, mixer.
Man, this guy stole my move. Damn.
Will there be sandwiches?
I know.
Yes.
There's a Jimmy John's nearby. I hear they deliver pretty
There's
quick.
a Jimmy John's, ladies and
I'll
gentlemen.
be there, sir.
Done.
Lead the way.
All right. Second, what is your advice for guys who do not get the hint? I am dense as a rock. I've been out eating with family, take her out, and when we leave the restaurant, I've had my mom look at me and go, does she have to hit you in the head with a board and drag you to the kitchen for you to get the message? I
Okay.
didn't notice she was flirting with me.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So if you recognize that you don't understand when you get the hint, and I mean, my boyfriend doesn't ever get a hint, so I listen. Then what I would say, a good advice would be to sort of have an ender. Have when you're having a conversation with someone, say, how long have I been talking to this person? Have I been here for 3 minutes? Have I been here for 10 minutes? If you've been there for 10 minutes, too long. After 3 minutes, go, set an alarm. Really be thinking about it and say, it was really great talking to you. I hope I get to talk to you again soon, and leave. I guarantee you, it will get you farther than because I've liked guys who've started talking to me, and then 8 minutes into I'm trying to do something, and they're still talking to me. I'm like, nope, it's over. And I was attracted to them, and then in the beginning it seemed like a great, this would be awesome. You can really sort of put your foot in your mouth with it, staying for too long. So just be really cognizant, and even if it feels like, wait, there's so much more I want to ask and say, and all that sort of stuff, in your mind think, I'll save it for when I see her again, and then just be very polite and go, hey, it was great. It was really great talking to you. See you around, and turn and leave. I tell you, she will ask somebody, who was that guy? I promise you.
And if you're really, really concerned, like this is a habitual thing where you're like, is that person into me? Are they not? You can ask them. I promise you, everyone's been in that awkward situation of not knowing. You'll make both of your lives a lot easier if you just ask someone.
Oh my God.
We can talk to each other.
I was into a guy for a full year. We're still friends, but I'm still angry about it. For a full year. And I finally turned to him after we'd gone to Dragon Con together and slept in the same room and said, what's the deal? When are we going to start dating? And he's like, I have absolutely no feelings for you. And at the time, I was like, my heart.
Yeah, you wept.
Oh, God. How can I move on? And then the next day came, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about that guy anymore.
Because you're at Dragon Con.
Right. Well, no, this was always after Dragon Con when I could have done so much good work there.
Well, this is also where the whole invitation comes into play. You're having a good conversation with someone, and you're kind of getting a feel for the chemistry. Say, hey, there's a mating habits panel that's going on, a couple hours from now. I'm thinking about checking it out. You want to go? It sounds really cool. And if they say yeah, that's a good sign. If they say no, it's probably a no, but still kind of a maybe. You can maybe check them out later.
If they say no, it's probably a no, but you know what? Somebody will say
But if you
yes.
get that yes, yeah.
Really and truly, it's a numbers game. You have to ask out.
And you're just
thousands
better
of
off
people.
knowing.
It's true. It's true. All right.
That's where if you invite someone, then no matter where you go, if they're into you and they want to see more of you, they'll just follow you where you go. Because that's what they
They'll
want to
show
do.
up.
They
You know
don't
we
necessarily
don't.
want to get a sandwich. That's what I'm there to do.
I want a sandwich.
They want to hang out and spend more time with me, and that's where I see the sign.